Making headlines this hour. President Dr. Mohammad Moizu announces a package of regulatory measures aimed at easing logistical and financial pressures on small and medium-sized enterprises, with a focus on improving operations at the country's main points of entry. President announces that businesses registered under the Authentic Maldives program have been authorized to sell their products through Alibaba.com. A recent poll conducted by the Bani Center for International Policy indicates that 62% of the population supports the work of President Dr. Mohammad Moizu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Minha Mauroof. President Dr. Mohammad Moizu conveys National Day greetings to the Amir of the State of Qatar, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, and the Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs of Qatar, His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim Al Thani, on the occasion of Qatar's National Day. In separate letters addressed to the Amir and the Prime Minister, President Moizu extended his warmest greetings and best wishes on behalf of the government and the people of the Maldives to the leadership and the brotherly people of Qatar. He reaffirmed the Maldives' firm commitment to strengthening and expanding the long-standing friendship between the two nations. The President highlighted Qatar's role as a close and valued development partner of the Maldives, expressing appreciation for the strong bonds of friendship, cooperation and people-to-people ties that continue to enhance bilateral relations. He noted that the establishment of the Embassy of the Republic of Maldives in Doha earlier this year marks an important milestone that will further facilitate engagement across multiple areas of partnership. President Moizu also conveyed his best wishes for the good health and well-being of the Amir and the Prime Minister, as well as continued peace, progress and prosperity for the people of Qatar. In addition, the President shared his greetings on his official X account, extending felicitations to Qatar's leadership and people. In the post, he expressed confidence that the excellent relations between the Maldives and Qatar will continue to flourish while acknowledging Qatar's long-standing contributions that have benefited the Maldivian people. Qatar's National Day is observed annually on 18th December. A recent poll conducted by the Bani Center for International Policy indicates that 62% of the population supports the work of President Dr. Mohammad Moizu. The survey, conducted via phone calls from 1st to 23rd November, sampled 321 respondents and adhered to international polling standards, ensuring gender and age group representation reflective of the country's voting demographics. The findings highlight notable demographic divides. 64% of women backed the president compared to 60% of men. Additionally, support was highest among individuals aged 35 and above, within over 66% approval. Geographically, rural areas showed stronger endorsement, 64%, than urban centers, 58%. These results give President Moizu a 24-point lead in his approval rating. Bani, which has conducted polls since April, emphasized methodological rigor, randomizing contacts from two telecom operators' databases and maintaining a 5% margin of error at a 95% confidence level. The survey underscores President Moizu's solid base among older and rural populations while revealing slight regional and gender disparities in his support. President Dr. Mohammad Moizu announces a package of regulatory measures aimed at easing logistical and financial pressures on small and medium-sized enterprises, with a focus on improving operations at the country's main points of entry. Speaking to business owners, President Moizu said the grace period for cargo to remain at the airport without incurring demurrage charges will be extended from 80 hours to 124 hours. He also announced that customs and cargo clearance services, which previously operated on limited schedules, will move to a 24-hour operation to speed up the processing of goods. The measures address long-standing concerns raised by the private sector over operational inefficiencies at Maldives Airports Company Limited, where delays have resulted in high storage costs for importers. The President said coordination with customs authorities will extend operating hours beyond the current 18-hour limit, helping to reduce fees and improve the flow of imports. In addition, President Moise outlined a fiscal arrangement that will allow businesses to offset taxes owed to the state against payments due from the government. He also said the administration will review migrant worker quotas and simplify vehicle registration procedures as part of a broader effort to improve the business environment. President Dr. Mohammad Moizu announces that businesses registered under the Authentic Maldives program have been authorized to sell their products through Alibaba.com as part of a wider strategy to strengthen the creative industry and expand access to global markets.
The announcement was made during a consultation with local entrepreneurs where the President addressed ongoing challenges related to foreign currency exchange. He said that under the new arrangement, 400 vendors already listed on Alibaba.com will be able to market their products internationally, provided they remain registered under the Authentic Maldives program. Officials described the initiative as a key step towards opening international market channels for Maldivian manufacturers and reducing logistical barriers associated with cross-border trade. President Moizu also highlighted progress in discussions with PayPal, expressing optimism that the service could become available to Maldivian citizens by January. He said this would significantly ease international transactions for local entrepreneurs. In addition, the President said the Bank of Maldives is preparing to launch a locally developed digital wallet, Swipe, in the first quarter of next year. The bank has described the platform as a major milestone in its efforts to position itself as a leading digital banking institution in the region.
Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif says Maldivians are eager to bring home the Central Asia Volleyball Association Kawa Cup 2025 trophy this year. He made the remarks while speaking at a ceremony held at the Maldives Center for Social Education (MCSE), where jerseys were officially handed over to the Maldivian women's volleyball team ahead of their Kawa Cup for Women 2025. The Vice President praised the team's talent and dedication, offering words of encouragement and wishing the players success in the upcoming tournament. He also urged the public to extend their full support to the national team throughout the competition. Recalling last year's tournament, Vice President Latif said he had watched several matches played by the Maldivian team at the Kawa Cup and witnessed their strong performance in the final. He noted that the team's display, particularly in front of home supporters, demonstrated that Maldivians are capable of bringing the trophy home. He further reaffirmed the government's commitment to promoting volleyball and assured the association of its continued support and cooperation. The Vice President added that the Ministry of Sports, Fitness and Recreation remains actively engaged in developing the sports nationwide and encouraging greater youth participation. The Minister of Homeland Security and Technology, Ali Ihsan, announces the Maldives will roll out smart ID cards integrated with digital identification by next year. The new initiative is part of the national push to digitize government services and streamline access for citizens. Speaking during a press conference, Minister Ihsan highlighted that 272,000 individuals, 80% of the population over the age of 10, have already been enrolled in the digital ID system. The smart ID cards will enable seamless access to a unified government services platform, OneGov, which currently integrates 17 agencies and digitizes previously manual processes. The move is a key step toward President Dr. Mohammad Moizu's vision of expanding the digital economy to 15% of GDP by 2030 and establishing the Maldives as a developed nation by 2040. The government is focusing on three foundational pillars: a secure digital ID system, interagency data exchange infrastructure, and robust cybersecurity measures. Upgrades to the existing ePass digital ID are also underway to address public concerns and enhance functionality. With more people utilizing the new digital framework ahead of the local council elections early next year, the administration aims to ensure all government services are accessible remotely from any island upon completion. Minister of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts Ibrahim Wahid announces measures to ease operational challenges faced by civil society organizations, including the provision of free facilities for non-governmental organizations.
Speaking at the Civil Society Awards ceremony held at the Youth Hub building, Minister Ibrahim Wahid said the first floor of the facility will be designated as an NGO working space and made available free of charge. He said the initiative aims to address the long-standing shortage of venues for meetings, forums and organizational activities within the civil society sector. The minister noted that access to the facility will be limited to registered organizations that are compliant with regulatory requirements under a policy framework currently being developed. He also referred to previous state funding provided to 15 organizations for island-level projects, noting that the implementation has been inconsistent. Minister urged these organizations to overcome delays and fulfill their commitments, stressing the importance of ensuring that intended benefits reach the public. The ceremony also recognized 7 organizations for their contributions to national development. The Women Empowerment Association of Tinadu was honored for its advocacy on rights, Care Society for its work with persons with special needs, and Tuladu Silver Shine Club for its educational initiatives. Additional awards were presented to Shai Rungewadi for cultural preservation, Clean Maldives for environmental stewardship, and the Alzheimer's Society of Maldives for health advocacy, and Girinda NGO for its efforts in drug prevention.
Commissioner of Police Ismail Naveen raises serious concerns over the growing number of children appearing in criminal environments, urging parents and guardians to closely monitor their children's activities. Speaking at a press conference on the work of agencies under the Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology, Commissioner Naveen revealed a worrying shift in criminal demographics, with younger individuals, some as young as 17, now frequently seen in crime-related hotspots. The Commissioner emphasized that while these minors lack criminal records and are typically advised and released, their presence in criminal hotspots remains a matter of extreme concern. He urged heightened parental vigilance, stressing the need for families to track their children's movements and associations. Meanwhile, the government is intensifying efforts to prevent youth delinquency, with over 160 children currently enrolled in state-run rehabilitation programs. At the same press conference, Minister of Homeland Security and Technology Ali Ehsan announced progress in the Hope Island project, a rehabilitation initiative for at-risk youth, confirming the identification of cross-subsidy investor to support the program. The Maldives Customs Service (MCS) is set to revolutionize import procedures by introducing a new system, allowing private individuals to submit their own customs declarations online. Commissioner General of Customs Fatima Diana announced the initiative during a press conference, highlighting it as a key step toward modernizing customs operations under the government's Maldives 2.0 digital transformation agenda. Currently, private individuals face delays due to the lack of a dedicated declaration process for personal duty-paying goods. To address this, MCS will launch a two-phase digital service via the National Single Window Platform, Tradian, starting 1st January 2026. The first phase will initially serve tourists, with full access for private individuals expected by the first quarter of 2026. The Tradian portal, officially launched on 20th April this year, has already streamlined import and export services by centralizing procedures online. These reforms, including 24/7 air cargo clearance, aim to ease trade, reduce processing times, and enhance transparency in the nation's customs operations. Diana added further details on the self-declaration service will be released by MCS in the coming months. Bank of Maldives BML, Visit Maldives Corporation VMC, and UnionPay signs an agreement to collaborate on a joint marketing initiative aimed at enhancing digital payment experiences and strengthening tourism promotion efforts. As part of this partnership, the three parties will jointly promote the Maldives as a preferred travel destination among UnionPay cardholders through coordinated marketing campaigns. This collaboration will focus on marketing activities and initiatives that highlight the Maldives' unique offerings, supporting efforts to attract more visitors to the country. In addition, BML has been appointed as the settlement agent bank for settlement in MVR for UnionPay transactions in the Maldives. This local settlement framework will serve as the foundation for deeper cooperation, including UnionPay card issuance opportunities. Bank's CEO and Managing Director Muhammad Sharif expressed delight to partner with VMC and UnionPay on this important initiative, which strengthens both the digital payment ecosystem and support of the tourism industry. BML currently accepts UnionPay cards via point-of-sale POS terminals and its merchant portal. The bank supports payment processing across all major credit and debit card networks including American Express, Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay, as well as leading digital wallets in the country such as BML Pay, WeChat Pay, Alipay, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. The Prime Ministers of Spain and Portugal says they backed the Mercosur trade agreement with Latin American countries ahead of a EU summit in Brussels. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez urged the European Union to open up to the commercial deal for the bloc to gain geo-economic and political power, adding it would be very frustrating if they fail to approve the plan. Portuguese Prime Minister Luís Montenegro said it would be unforgivable if Europe is not able to approve the Mercosur deal after 25 years of negotiations. The European Union struck a provisional deal to set tighter controls on imports of farm products, resulting from a planned trade agreement with South American bloc Mercosur, potentially meeting some complaints of critics of the deal. The EU and the bloc of Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay concluded negotiations last December to create the EU's largest ever trade accord in terms of tariff cuts, some 25 years after negotiations were launched. Countries led by France and Italy have said they are not ready to back the trade deal and have demanded additional measures to protect their farmers.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Chadive Raja Award Award Koloma PSME application download Kolava. Download Koloma for login vela for Chadive Raja Programa Fit Talava. Votlang Benova Daira Hiar Kurava. Adi Votlang Benuvara select Koloma for vote deva. Come votaki de token. Eng account to a voter voranginang vote the vene.
Welcome back to PSM News in English. Poland is expected to announce full combat readiness of its Patriot air missiles defense systems integrated with the IBCS Integrated Battle Command System. The move will mark another milestone in Warsaw's push to strengthen air and missile defense on NATO's eastern flank countries such as Poland, which border Ukraine. In March 2025, Poland signed a nearly $2 billion agreement with the United States for logistical support for Patriot, including technical support and training, which Polish officials said would help ensure the operational readiness of Patriot launches, forming the core of the Wisla program. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the U.S. has provided over $11 billion in loans and guarantees for Polish armament programs. Poland targets 4.7% of GDP defense spending in 2025 and 5% in 2026. European Union leaders will decide whether to use frozen Russian assets to lend billions of euros of cash to Ukraine to keep its war effort afloat and at a summit seen as critical test for the group's strength. The EU sees Russia's war as a threat to its own security and wants to keep Ukraine financed and fighting. The European Commission has proposed using frozen Russian central bank assets that are mostly held in a Belgian clearinghouse to secure a huge loan to Kyiv. But Belgium is deeply concerned about legal and financial risks, and other states, including Italy, have also expressed worries. EU leaders arriving at the summit said it was imperative they find a solution. They were also keen to show European countries strength and resolve after US President Donald Trump last week called them weak. prize money for next year's World Cup will be 50% higher than the previous edition, with world governing body FIFA agreeing a record $727 million financial contribution to the tournament. The biggest slice of FIFA's funding package for the North American showpiece, $655 million, will be performance-based payments to 48 participating nations, with the champions taking $50 million and the runners-up $33 million.
We had a very important council meeting here today in Doha, where we discussed many points. First decision taken, the prize money for the FIFA World Cup 2026. A massive increase, 50% more for all the member associations, minimum of 9 million for the participation, plus 1.5 million preparation money, so 10.5 million for every member association participating in the World Cup, and the winner gets $50 million, an increase of 50% compared to the World Cup 2022 in Qatar.
The 16 nations that fail to survive beyond the initial group phase will earn $9 million, while in addition, each qualified nation is entitled to $1.5 to cover preparation costs. Beneath Baghdad's iconic Al-Mutanabbi Street lies a hidden gem, Al-Hekma Bookshop, a small underground bookshop run by 68-year-old Adnan Jafar Ghani. For decades, Ghani has dedicated himself to the mission of making reading accessible to all, transforming his bookseller into an impactful cultural landmark. Ghani sells books at modest prices and provides them free of charge to those who can't afford them. The bookshop's basement is a treasure trove, with shelves and boxes crammed with thousands of titles from science and history to rare novels. It attracts a diverse crowd, including students, academics, and professionals, all drawn to its rich collection. The narrow alleys leading to Al-Hekma are alive with the bustle of university students, intellectuals, and curious readers in search of knowledge. Ghani's initiative is considered to be showcasing a personal endeavor to sustain the culture of reading and uphold the legacy of Al-Mutanabbi Street as the cultural heart of Baghdad. And that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a pleasant day ahead.